Health is wealth. The richest man without it is poor. Today I want to talk about diet and diabetes. Are you at risk? Many people, they say, this diabetic thing, it's in our family. My grandfather was diabetic, my mother was diabetic, I am diabetic, my children will probably be diabetic as well. But do you know this thing that we call genetics? It's just like a loaded rifle, but it is lifestyle that pulls the trigger. The way you are born, we are all born with different weaknesses. The weakness on its own, it's not a disease. It is only when you trigger it with a lifestyle, then you can become ill one of these days. So if you are diabetic, first of all, I would like you to consider your diet and your lifestyle. Yes, there are different types of diabetes, type 1 and type 2. But let's focus on type 2 diabetes today, which is mostly lifestyle related. You know, the way when you wake up in the morning, your blood sugar, it's usually at its lowest. And that's why we need to eat breakfast. And when you eat breakfast, it's like filling the petrol in your car. Then it means that car is supposed to go. It must be on the move. But what do? Many times we eat a good breakfast and we drive a car to work. We arrive at work 10 o'clock, we want to eat some snacks. So we eat some refreshments, it could be fizzy drinks or cakes and biscuits. It's like we are putting more petrol into the car, but the vehicle is going nowhere. We are just parking it. We are working on the laptop. We are not working in the mine. You are not a carpenter. You are not a mechanic. You are not a farmer. So you are not burning calories. You are simply putting the fuel into the car. Lunchtime comes, what do? We eat more. We have some chips, maybe with some chicken and a lot of mayonnaise in it. And what happens? You know, we have eaten, we are full, and we sit down again. Maybe we drive back to work. 3 o'clock, some of us, we have a habit of having another snack. Then we have another snack, or maybe a meal at supper time, which is maybe around 7 o'clock. Some people, they also even have a habit of having a 10 p.m. snack. It could be some fizzy drinks and some biscuits. So they will spend the whole day eating refined, highly processed food, high in glucose. But we don't have time to exercise. In fact, we have good excuses why we don't exercise. I'm a very busy man at work, a very busy man at church, a very busy man. I have so many meetings to attend. And what happens? As time goes by, because we are putting too much fuel into the system, but we are not burning it, we create a problem where the body fails to burn this glucose. The hospital people, they call it insulin resistant. And then what happens? We become diabetic because of eating too much fatty food, eating too much food which is refined and processed, and at the same time, we don't have the time to burn the calories that we are eating. So now that we understand how we become diabetic, how do we reverse it? Get up in the morning and go for a walk. Do some exercise, and walking is the best, especially if you go for a walk early in the morning before eating your breakfast, when your blood sugar is at the lowest, because your body will now use the glucose that is stuck in the system and the excess body fat, especially the one that accumulates on your tummy. That's the fat that you are going to burn when you are going for a walk early in the morning, at least an hour. But remember, it must be brisk walking. Walk a little bit faster. Not the way you walk when you are escorting visitors, but walk as someone who is exercising. And when you have done that, have a healthy breakfast like jungle oats or anything whole wheat bread with some peanut butter on it and maybe some fruit. If you eat a breakfast like that, a breakfast which is high in fiber, it will help to lower your blood sugar. because the fiber will bind the excess body fat, giving your cells more freedom to respond to insulin. And also make sure you're eating plant-based protein, especially the legumes. If you combine the legumes and the whole grains, you get the same quality of protein that you get from the beef, minus the cholesterol that we get from the beef, which can also contribute to cases of diabetes. So a plant-based diet together with exercise, and of course spending quality time when you are resting at night, and of course peace of mind by trusting in God, our benevolent Creator, can help prevent diabetes, and in some cases it can even reverse it. May you enjoy good health. Remember, health is wealth.